Welcome to Waco. We are having a great time in Texas so far. We spent the last week in Marshall, Texas, where we visited Caddo Lake and took in its eerie beauty. This week we are heading to Waco, where we are sure to have a wonderful time. We stayed at Spiegelville Park, which is a campground managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. It sits on Lake Waco, and our campsite had spectacular views of the lake, and it was just a short walk from our camper down to the shore. This campground had several sites with water views, bathrooms and showers, a boat ramp, and the sites came with electric and water hookups. This is a wonderful park that we enjoyed staying at, and we really loved seeing herons on the lake and all the deer roaming around every day. Waco has a lot of awesome attractions that we knew we wanted to check out. One day after work, we headed to downtown and walked along the riverfront. We parked on University Parks Drive, right next to this amazing group of statues that is named Branding the Brazos. These cowboys and their cattle dot the path to the Waco Suspension Bridge. This was the first bridge to cross the Brazos River and was built in 1870. It was part of the Chisholm Trail, which was a cattle drive trail that ran from southern Texas and into Kansas. It is now used as a pedestrian bridge. We walked over the suspension bridge and down to the riverfront, where there was this neat overlook with a Martin Luther King Jr. mural painted on it. From here, it is just a short walk to the Doris D. Miller Memorial. This memorial honors Doris Miller, a Waco native and World War II vet who became a hero in Pearl Harbor. He was the first black sailor that was awarded the Navy Cross for his bravery during the Pearl Harbor attack, in which he assisted in moving his mortally wounded captain to safety before manning a machine gun and firing upon attacking enemy aircraft, after having no prior gunnery training as a mess attendant. On November 24, 1943, the ship Miller was on was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine in the Pacific Ocean. The ship sank, killing 2/3 of the crew, including Dory Miller. In 2017, this memorial was built to honor this hero from Waco. After checking out Waco's riverfront, we were hungry and decided to stop for some Tex-Mex at La Fiesta Restaurant and Cantina. We went to town on some chips and queso, and Keisha ordered the poncho nachos, and I ordered a combo that came with a pork tamale, chicken flauta, and an al pastor fluffy taco. Everything was delicious. Our campground was a short drive from the Lake Waco Wetlands, and we decided to head over there after work on Thursday. There is a big visitor and education center, but it was closed when we got there. The main gates close at 4, but there is an overflow parking lot and a pedestrian gate that you can use to get in. We walked the dogs along a trail that went by some prickly pear plants and through the woods, coming out into the wide open landscape of the wetlands. Unfortunately, the wetlands were not very wet when we were here, but it was still a pleasant walk. And we got to catch a gorgeous sunset as well. On Saturday, we visited the Waco Mammoth National Monument. This exhibit is part of the National Park Service and showcases a dig site where the bones of mammoths and other ancient animals have been uncovered. A nursery herd of 16 Columbian mammoths have been uncovered, as well as remains of a western camel, saber-toothed tiger, and a few other animals. It is still a mystery what ended up trapping the herd here, but the main theory is reoccurring flash floods. It was really interesting to see an active dig site and the fossils of these animals in the position that they were found. It is a 30-minute guided tour of the dig site, and our guide did an amazing job walking us through the history and current discoveries. After leaving the Waco Mammoth National Monument, we headed back to downtown Waco, where we visited the Dr. Pepper Museum. The museum was very busy, and we still spent a lot of time walking through the different exhibits. There was so much information about the history of soda, Dr. Pepper, Waco, and the building itself. They also had plenty of old cans and bottles, as well as amazing old advertisements and signs. There were also displays of different advertisements and containers from all around the world. It is easy to spend a couple hours walking through this astounding museum and taking in all of the information. After we toured the museum, we walked next door to get our free handmade Dr. Peppers. With a ticket to the museum, you can try a handmade regular or diet Dr. Pepper, Big Red, which is a popular soda in Texas, or IBC root beer. We ordered a Dr. Pepper and root beer, and both were very good. We had a lot of fun at the Dr. Pepper Museum, and afterwards we walked through the Magnolia Silo District, which has a lot of cool shops and food. However, we decided we were going to grab lunch at Whiz Bang's Hamburgers, just down the road in Union Hall. This building is home to several restaurants with all kinds of different foods. At Whiz Bang's, we each ordered a Whiz Pig burger, which is half beef and half bacon, as well as onion rings and Whiz Banged fries. Everything was very good. We had a wonderful time staying on Lake Waco and visiting the neat attractions in the area. Waco was an unexpected stop that turned out to be well worth a visit. We didn't know there was so much to see and do in Waco, and we would totally recommend staying here and seeing for yourself. Hope you enjoyed.